right, shall we get into the nitty-gritty of the next one-shot? Thank you for joining me, Bearzy. Can you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hello, I'm Bearzy. Basically, every village needs its idiot, so here I am. I DM on the side. It's good fun. My character is a wonderful bard named Percy. Argentus these days used to go by Aurelius. Generally, how would you describe Percy? Percy is a very attractive human being, first of all. A little bit under 6 foot, like 5'10". Bright silvery eyes, a shock of red and orange hairs that look more like sunset colors than they do more of a ginger color. Kind of always wearing the latest fashions, always has a couple of instruments strapped to his body, as well as a rapier strapped to his belt that he has not pulled out once in this campaign. Not once. And I'm starting to think that it's just a flute with a funny handle.
It's one of those, like, fake ones, so if you pull it, it's just the handle. There's no blade.
If you pull it out, it's like a third of a rapier. And it's actually just a cheese knife.
Yeah. Or a lighter.
A lighter. He has not pulled that rapier out once this whole campaign, nor the dagger that he has in his boot, but oh well.
Well, no, I think that's not... Technically, I don't know if that's entirely true, because of rest action that you did with Machiavellia, but...
yeah, maybe.
Other than that, yeah, in the main campaign. In the main campaign, you
on screen, he has not pulled out any weapons yet. Zero. He's very soft-skinned, very soft-faced, permanently like clean-shaven, doesn't seem to really grow too much in the way of facial hair, and has an annoying habit of rearranging the furniture of every room he goes into until it meets his feng shui.
Yes, much to Macadelia's annoyance.
Must to everyone's annoyance.
I mean,
Darcy continues to poison his tea.
Yes, Darcy does continue the poisonous tea, but Darcy has a new target now, so the poisonous tea might actually level up a bit.
Well, have that. I need to be the center of attention.
Arzil brought Kyla a squeaky toy, and Darcy will not forgive him.
I will need to beat that. Understood.
Oh, no.
DM, unrelated question. Are there any kazoos in this world?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you.
Why are you going to torture poor Darcy?
It's funny.
What did Darcy do to you?
Poisoned my tea?
Besides that. I think you were smarmy to her first. And so she's just like, now you need to die. But not really, you know. Lightly die.
Bit of a leap. Jesus. Only die a little bit.
Yeah, just a teeny bit. Just suffer a little, you'll be fine. Percy, the day has arrived for your requested date with Machiavellia.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you having it? Like, is it just in the guild hall?
Well, I was going to have a discussion with her as to where she would want to go. But if allowing, I would much rather take her out into, first of all, the middle of Lux. That city where I'm a wanted criminal. And
okay, perfect.
I probably know of a fair few fantastic kind of hole-in-the-wall fish type places. You know, seafood type restaurants. Seafood's romantic.
So you pitched this idea to her, and she kind of looks at you and says, so you managed to get away with sneaking into Lux once without consequence, and now you think you can sneak in there again and just be fine.
Look, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a little dangerous, but if it's worth doing twice, no? Plus, a little danger on the first date never hurt anyone.
You realize the both of us have famous faces, do you not?
Right, but we have magic.
You know what, if I'm leaving you to the gods if we get pursued. You're going to be the one facing the gallows. I'm out of here.
I truly thought that maybe you would princess carry me the way home, but all right, deal.
I suppose that just depends on how well the date goes. You'll have to earn that Princess Carrie if you want it so bad.
Yes, madam, say less. Shall we?
Meet me in half an hour, I suppose.
Wonderful. I'll be back shortly.
What
And
do you
he's
do to prepare?
so first of all, 100% strip absolutely naked to go take a real quick 10-minute shower. You know, real get everything shiny and sparkly. I break out the good soaps. You know what I mean?
Sure, you go
Sense
to
of
the
good wood.
guild bath. It's not very fancy as you're used to, but it's functional. It is the spirit of utility. It is magically powered, so there is hot water at least, but there's kind of mundane soap. Do you have your own fancy lotions and potions?
Well, how much would you say a good bath with a soap kit is, gold wise?
Probably, I would say 2 gold at most.
Oh, wonderful. So, as an action, I can create one non-magical item of my choice in an unoccupied space within 10 feet of me.
Perfect.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming it's a big bath, like just a giant bathroom, right? So, one mega
Right.
bath.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm going to summon a smaller, much fancier bath within the bath.
In the main
And it's
bath,
gonna.
you do see that Scuttle is swimming around.
Who?
Scuttle the kobold.
Oh, Scuttle the Kobold. Okay. Yeah, 100% I summon my own bath that Scuttle's not been in. Along with the various bath bombs and all sorts of oils. It's a bubble bath, of course it is.
You look over, he's pretending to be a gator, and he's just snapping at the water.
Oh, darling. All right. I quickly scrub myself clean.
Mm-hmm.
I will stroll naked across the entire building back to my room.
Well, let me see who sees you. Oh, Lord.
Look, as long as it's not Kyla.
It is for sure Kyla.
Of course, it's Kyla.
Kyla does give you a wolf whistle as you walk past. And she tries to entice you over with a biscuit. Darcy will not look up. Darcy has her face in the book. She is not looking up. She is absolutely refusing to look at you.
As I begin to walk through this room, just as I walk out, I do a little skip so that my ass cheeks clap loud enough to get her attention, and then I walk out, go back to my room.
She still refuses to look up.
Yeah. Then we're going to get just into the finest fashions. I am, in fact, wearing a jockstrap.
Okay.
And then on top of that, a bunch of other clothes. Don't get me wrong.
You worried about something?
Nothing at all. So we're gonna wear the finest clothing on top of that.
Okay.
However, I'm gonna go with more muted colors because we are going to the middle of Lux. Actually, what would Lux's fashion be? Probably brights.
Considering the season, as it's closer to the winter, it's going to start getting into the cooler palettes, so tends to be silvers and charcoal grays and like rich, deep gem tones is going to be the color fashion.
So what we're gonna do is kind of like black slacks, black shoes. We're gonna do like a darker gray shirt, and then I'm gonna start wearing like I'm gonna have like it would be a little cheeky. I'm gonna have gold accents, so like golden jewelry and golden accents on the shirt.
Of course.
And also like a little headband, golden. And upon that, and then on top of all that, I put my hat on, my big. I forget what the actual name of the one of the musketeers used to wear. You know what I mean?
Right.
With
big feathered hat.
Yeah, but no feather. Instead, it is Molly's flower. I'm good to go.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. We'll see how
stealth check.
noticeable your attire is.
Oh, hey, I rolled a natural 19, so that's 22.
You think, based on what you're wearing and kind of the style, that you will be seen generally as a lesser noble, and as such will be more or less ignored as long as you stay in the more ostentatious areas of Lux. You think you'll garner more notice if you go to the lower class areas and the slums.
Yeah.
So you kind of have a sense of how much you'll be noticed in the different regions of Lux based on what you're wearing. So for you,
Mhm.
probably the safest area is the more rich districts, the more noble districts, and the most dangerous areas are going to be the slums, just because your glitter is noticeable.
Absolutely. No problem. Speaking of glitter, I'm absolutely wearing glitter on my cheeks.
I would be concerned if you weren't.
Wonderful.
How much time does Percy take doing this?
Percy's a deft hand at this, I would say by now.
Okay, so
I
you
would say
aren't
that
keeping Machiavelli waiting or anything.
no, while Percy is a little goofy, I think making Macadamia wait is how you lose your life. I'm trying to walk the line.
So as you kind of come out into the main area, Machiavelli is waiting as she
Mhm.
appears to actually have her hair down in a sort of long, fancy braid. It goes all the way down to her hips. She has it braided with this very thin black leather, so it's fancy without being over the top.
Mhm.
She has on a sort of long sleeved woolen dress that is form fitting without being too much. It's very utilitarian, but it's also pretty fancy for Macadamia. She also appears to be wearing leggings, and there she has knee high leather boots. Overall, she looks like she could belong in the noble district, but she is not going to stand out in any district. She doesn't seem to be wearing any jewelry ornamentation. Her only ornamentation seems to be leather, with the exception of she is wearing a very thin iron circlet.
Oh, well, forgive me, but I'm just going to bend to the waist and kiss the back of her hand. I always knew you were beautiful, but not. Wow.
She raises an eyebrow and says, "There's no need for flattery. You asked for this, and so this is your reward for not bothering me for 4 whole days. I got so much work done."
It must have been terrible. I'm very sorry to hear it.
Well, the sacrifices I make for the guild. And she kind of
Oh,
smirks at you a little.
well, thankfully, tonight will not have to be one of them, shall we?
Huh.
And he's gonna like hold out an elbow.
Speak for
You know.
yourself. She holds out an elbow to you and kind of gives a flick of her a chin, like you're expected to grab onto her.
Okay, I grab onto her with a happy grin.
And she leads you through the portal, which Darcy is looking extremely put out. And she's like, "I will never forgive you for streaking across the guild hall."
What? Really? You should be thanking me. And we should leave. We should leave before I get in trouble.
From the back, you hear Kyla say, "Oh, thank you."
See? Have you ever tried to be a little Roma like Kyla? Honestly.
You know, I could skip poisons and just go straight to daggers if you prefer.
I didn't realize we were so far in our relationship.
Macadelia is just looking between the two of you, and she says, "Did you two want to go on the date?"
No. I like my testicles where they are. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I can't guarantee their safety going on a date with me as opposed to her.
Right, I understand, but frankly, I'll take my chances with you. You haven't actively tried to kill me just yet, and
Well,
I'm not going to lie.
not
In
that
those
you've
boots, I
seen.
might let you. In those boots, you can do whatever you want, frankly.
She kind of rolls her eyes, but she looks amused as she leads you through the portal. It seems to have put you down in the middle class area of Lux. There are a lot of taverns open here. There are kind of many places to go. It's very central.
Mhm.
And she says to you, "Well, we are two people who are not very welcome in this city, now in the middle of it. Where do you suggest we go?"
Well, first things first. Are you hungry at all?
"I suppose I could go for a bite to eat."
Wonderful. I know this amazing barbecue place. I'm gonna start leading her towards like the classier area of the city. And in my mind, 100% we're going to like a Korean barbecue place.
He kind of leads the way as she knows the way to Lux, and she says, well, barbecue isn't traditionally what you would expect for a first date, but I appreciate the unorthodox, as you can tell.
Frankly, I couldn't imagine you or myself in fine dining.
Just what are you implying? You don't think that I'm a lady?
No, I'm implying I think you'd get very bored. It's a bit stuffy, isn't it?
Well, unless you play the games.
Right, but even then, the games get boring over time.
Oh, that's
Look.
not necessarily true. The most fun you can have is stealing from the nobles and then planting it on other nobles.
Oh, we're talking about different games.
Oh, what games did you think of?
I'm more interested in your games. Stealing from the nobles and planting it. This sounds like something I do.
Well, you have to have some entertainment when you're enduring boring lectures. I wasn't always a soldier.
What were you before the soldier?
I was different.
Uh-huh.
We're not here to talk about me.
This is a date. We're absolutely... No, we don't need to talk about me. You've got a dossier with my name on it. I'm curious about you.
I also have your wanted poster.
Look,
Never like a copy.
Look, I'm very sorry. They didn't get my good side on the wanted poster. It's not a very good, flattering image.
They did not. I don't know why they had to include the pig. I mean, I read the news story, but...
I think this was someone just after when I wrote "fuck you" in the sky in the middle of Lux.
Oh no, I have that wanted poster too. They did
Oh,
you
I
that
have
justice
multiple.
there. Present you almost as a rogue.
Well, I
You'd
guess
be surprised how many wanted posters I have of our mercenary members.
Well, birds of a feather.
We're called
Is that
together.
racist? Is that racist? There's bird people in our guild. That feels...
Don't make me feel self-conscious when talking to our bird people.
It's too late. The damage is done.
Now I'm going to look at Kalali's face and think of that.
I was thinking of Quietus.
Oh, Quietus's face too. We have so many bird people.
What? There's so many, but anyway.
At this point, you guys are kind of crossing into the district. It's starting to go into evening, and you're seeing the mage lights of Lux start to light up. The lighting is very pleasant and quiet, and surprisingly enough, most people seem to be off the streets at this point. There's a bit of a chill in the air as you're making your way. And you see the kind of plaza where this restaurant would be. And she kind of says to you, why exactly did you ask me on this date?
Well, originally, it was as a thank you. I know you took time out of your very busy day to train me, and I know I could not have been easy to deal with in the earlier times of my being here, nor the more recent now that I think about it. So it was originally just as a thank you. And then you showed up in the boots and my head emptied.
Well, what can I say? I did always love these boots.
I could see why. But originally, it was more of a simple thank you. Except I am a strange man and can't simply say thank you. There has to be a whole hullabaloo about it, otherwise, what's the point?
Well, honestly, I just kind of accept that as who you are. And it would be so much less interesting if you just said thank you. I suppose this way is memorable.
That's what I was thinking. Plus, you're cute.
How truthful is Percy being as Makadana kind of looks at you?
He's being truthful, he means it. He has not spoken a lie so far.
She tilts her head and kind of looks away, but looks back at you and says, thank you. I think... And she doesn't finish. You see, she almost seems flustered, as if what you've said is unexpected. I didn't particularly care for this feeling. You are quite handsome. I think we both know that. But thank you, nonetheless.
Of course.
She's kind of not looking at you right now.
showing a moment of sensitivity for once. Percy will not comment further on that, and instead we'll approach the restaurant.
She leads on, and she says, "I was honestly surprised when you asked me to train you. I was pretty sure I scared you."
Well, yeah, frankly, a lot.
Then why ask for my help?
Because what's the point of being trained if you're not a little scared of it? I got the feeling that if I asked you, who, yes, you did scare you did scare the shit out of me, pardon my French, originally, but if I was going to choose anyone to kind of train a spine into me, it would have been you.
I didn't expect such wisdom from one such as you. When I first
Look,
met you, I thought you were quite foolish.
Oh, no. I'm absolutely still foolish. It's just a broken clock is right twice a day.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit. Taking you out of this stifling atmosphere seems to have allowed you to grow.
A touch. But I think it's more the trauma, really. If I'm going to be honest.
Well, the trauma gets to us all.
Darn the trauma, truly. I could write a book. And a sequel, probably.
But co-sign, for certain.
Right, anyway.
Now, which one of these did you want to go to?
Oh, this one, this interesting little barbecue place. They do this thing called kimchi. They do this thing called kimchi. It's like this fermented green stuff. It's amazing.
Kimchi. Well,
Yes. They also don't use forks and knives. They use like little sticks. It's amazing.
you pick the most peculiar places, but I'm here for the adventure, so...
Look.
As well.
As far as I'm concerned, you're 21 plus VAT. But I assume in your years you've seen many, many interesting things and had many different meals. And I thought, well, let's try something you definitely haven't tried before.
As you guys enter, you notice that a fire genasi is kind of serving, and they beckon you over, and they're like, "Here is your table. Please settle down. Here are your chopsticks, and here are some appetizers. I will be back shortly."
Oh, thank you.
They
No,
seem to be
goodness.
bustling around.
Seems to be a bit of a busy night. Anyway, wine?
Macadelia seems to be sitting against the wall, and she's keeping a close eye on all the exits.
Look, relax. It's okay. No one's going to come for us here.
I am relaxed. Can't
Yo.
you tell?
I have just watched you make 3 different escape plans in your head, and then I've just watched you look at the chopsticks and figure out how to guide them into an eyeball.
Oh, don't be naive. I've formulated at least 6 escape plans at this point, and an eyeball would be wasteful for these. I think they're just perfect for stabbing into a major artery.
Well, you've kind of proven my point.
But what's not relaxing about knowing where all your options are?
Relaxing is more knowing that you don't need the options.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were the authority on how everyone must relax and enjoy their time.
Well, I would like to call myself an authority on relaxation, yes. If there's one thing I can do well, you should feel me give a massage, honestly, to die for.
I think that we'll have to go on a few more dates before that.
You raise good points. Now tell me. And he's gonna wave someone down and try to order a bottle of wine while he talks. Where are you from exactly?
So a waitress comes over. They seem to just look and be like, "Don't worry, I'll bring something." And they come back with a bottle. It doesn't appear to be wine.
Oh. Well, how about we play a drinking game? You ever heard of a game called Truth or Drink?
No, explain to me how this is played.
It's very easy. I ask you a question, you tell me the truth or you drink. Then vice versa. Every time you don't tell the truth, the amount of drinks doubles.
Very well, but I'm using this. And she, from her satchel, She pulls a fresh bottle of what appears to be very strong alcohol. We'll use this for our drinking game.
Wait, we? Us?
We.
Ah, right. Okay. How strong would you say that is?
As soon as she uncorks it, you can smell it.
Oh. Oh dear. Okay. Right. Sure. Well, ladies first.
So I get to ask you a question is how this works, and if you don't want to answer it, you have to drink.
Exactly.
But what do I want to know about you? You said I practically had a dossier.
I'm fairly sure you have a folder dedicated to me somewhere in your office.
Oh, don't be modest. There's a whole drawer.
Is that where it is?
We have to keep your rap sheet somewhere. And you insist upon growing it.
Be a bit boring if it was the same the whole time.
Yes, and we have decided to start a fund to bail you out in the event that you must go to the gallows. Can't have you dying too soon.
That's fine, it'll never catch me.
Never say never. But,
well,
what was it like growing up for you?
Ooh. He's gonna. What was the bottle I got given?
The bottle that you got given is some sort of fire spirits. You're familiar with it. You've had it before. It's like a medium alcoholic beverage. The smell coming from Cadelia's bottle smells basically like poison.
Okay, well I'm gonna have a sip of mine. Just like regular drinking.
Macadelia's eyebrow raises. Don't be a coward.
Well, no, I'm answering the question. It's just that one needs a little liquid courage. The word that comes to mind first is cold. Mother Aurelius wasn't exactly what you'd call a doting mother. And father wasn't exactly... Father bended to her whims. So most of my childhood was kind of being sent off to schools here and there. Sent off to live with family, come back, stay home for 2 weeks, sent off to the next school, over and over and over again. Generally told not to make a nuisance of myself, to be still and be silent. While I wanted for nothing, I didn't really have anything either. A bit, a bit ironic, really. So, I used to act out every now and then. And what do you know, that habit followed me all the way into adulthood.
Now it's a bit
Are you satisfied?
opposite, isn't it? You want for everything, yet I feel your life is ever richer.
You might be right. Might have a few more friends these days. And some of those friends... Well, some of those friends steal kobolds out of the park.
Ugh, don't remind me. That thing is not potty trained.
Can you believe I almost got into the bath with him accidentally? Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's 90% kobold pee at this point.
And this is when you say, we don't have a bath.
Oh no, we do. I just don't use it.
Thinky.
Well, I have
but does that answer your question to your satisfaction?
It does.
Wonderful.
Now,
My turn.
I'm almost dreading what you might ask me.
Kind of thinks. Looks at her. His face gets a little more severe, like a little deeper in thought.
She kind of matches it, but a little bit mockingly. I am an enigma, I know. So many questions you must all
Boxes of briefs.
For me, for what I think you have.
Your preference, really, as either to wear or for someone else to wear.
She thinks about it, and then you kind of see a little bit of a mischievous smirk, and she goes, neither.
Interesting. I'm satisfied.
Oh, good. Favorite food?
Oh, now that's a tough one. I, however, loved all forms of baked good, especially if they involve cinnamon.
Don't tell that to Kyla. She'll fill your entire room with snickerdoodles.
That's kind of... I've been avoiding Kyla and my food preferences.
Oh,
Ever
I
since I
have
saw her,
been hearing all about it. She is quite smitten with you.
well, ever since she started loading my bags with bird seed, I started thinking maybe I should avoid contact a little bit.
Have you tried the birdseed, though?
I can't say that I have, no.
You'd be surprised. I don't really like this getting around, so if you tell anyone, I will stab you, but it's actually decent. She puts it in this, like, brittle. That's actually good.
I need to write this down. Hold on.
But I don't.
Macadamia eats bird seed on occasion.
It's to amuse Kyla. I swear.
Oh no, she's got you wrapped around her finger. Okay.
You blame me.
A question for yourself. She is adorable. I don't trust her intentions.
That is the accurate response to have with her, to be honest.
What were your parents like?
She grabs your bottle and takes a long drink. Liquid courage, she says as she shakes it.
Well, now you're just mocking me.
And is that so wrong? I think you like it.
What? Me? And he like prunes a little bit, flops up in his chair.
Well, my mother was a warrior. And my father a lord.
Interesting.
But I was born cursed. And so, much like you, I perhaps didn't get the attention that I so desperately wanted. It was a lot of study, rigorous fighting, learning to use my powers under my mother. My father pretended that he didn't have a daughter. Very amusing. I often felt that my only purpose was war. I had to fight battle after battle, and losing was never an option. The price of it was severe, and I have quite a few scars that prove that Marcadelia was not always the unconquerable force she presents herself to be. One day, my father tried to have me killed, and in return, I took his kingdom. And that is where the legend of Marcadelia the Red Storm truly started.
My oh my.
Satisfied?
I would say so. I was wondering where all the drinking songs came from.
Much of them are exaggerated, I promise you.
I think you might be playing it down.
Do you really think that one person can accomplish so much? Do you really think that I'm unconquerable, that I've never been defeated?
In those boots? Maybe.
Well, you can't always wear your nicest boots to the battlefield, or they're no longer your nicest boots. Do you know how hard it is to clean blood out of things?
No, I don't. The first cantrip I ever learned was prestidigitation. I refuse to ever be dirty again.
Let me tell you, does not work on troll blood.
Interesting. I will definitely keep a note of that for my dry cleaners.
At this point, food is dropped off at your table.
So if it's like a normal Korean barbecue, it's basically just like a bunch of meat arrives,
Yes.
and then there's like a grill in the middle of the table.
It's not quite a grill so much as you look into the center area where there is this grate, and a tiny fire elemental just looks back at you.
Oh. Hello. All right. I actually, funnily enough, I speak primordial. Which is usually what elementals talk.
The elemental looks at you and says, "Stop staring or I'll burn your meat."
Okay, don't burn my meat. Would you like a snack?
No. I was
All right,
fed
understood.
before you arrived.
I'm glad to see that you are well fed. All right, anyway.
Macadelia just like looks from you to the elemental. Someone you know?
No, you know me. My naturally charming personality charms the fire elemental hiding in our grill.
Charming.
See, you say that, and yet you're here on a date with me, so it must have worked a little bit.
On a date with you in a city that you're banned from.
Well, practically makes it all the more amazing.
It's amazing we haven't been caught yet. But, I mean, being in the guild all the time is a bit boring.
Especially with all those doors that go into madness.
Oh, don't be a sore spot over it. You were annoying me. I had to teach you a lesson.
I could have tasted my brain in that moment.
Well, at least I covered your eyes so the spell was broken. I could
good.
have left
You
you
didn't.
there all day. No,
You didn't immediately murder me. Thank you.
Oh, you would have been fine. What's a little madness?
I don't think I could do the whole tortured artist suffering from insanity thing.
Well, if you kept looking at that sky, I don't think you would have had a choice.
Oh, wonderful. I can't tell if you're threatening with me or flirting with me, but either way, it's working for me. Keep it up.
Sometimes these things go hand in hand. You picked a very dangerous date. What did you expect the flirting would be like?
I'm just surprised I'm not covered in blood yet.
I mean, the night is still young.
Percy blushes, looks down and begins to cook his food.
Machiavellia looks amused, follows suit, but you see her actually wave her hand over the food before she'll take it and cook it.
Just detecting poisons, are we?
One can never be too careful. Roll an insight check.
Okay. Insight. Where did I get a +5 in this? 14 overall.
There is something there. There's something not being said in her response. It's a little too flippant. It's a little too quick.
Tilts his head. Now, I think we both know that that wasn't the full story, but I understand you're probably not willing to talk about it.
Talk about what?
But you can... There's something there.
There's
when
a
you
challenge
said
in her eyes as she says that. And as you
Yeah.
kind of look at her, like, you can press this, but it's going to be a challenge and you have to be willing to fight for it.
I'm just saying that if you don't want to tell me something, you can just say so. There's no need for hiding. You can simply say, I'm not ready, or I don't want to talk about that, and we'll move on.
Of course I can.
Right. And he'll back off a little bit. Not quite willing to sacrifice the good vibes.
Intense gaze lessens as she continues to wave her hand over the food before cooking and enjoying it. Which one of this is kimchi?
Oh, did we order kimchi?
It came with your appetizers.
Oh, it's this one. Fermented cabbage.
Fermented cabbage? Ugh. And you say it's good?
Yeah, and he'll take his little chopsticks out and pick up a piece and hold it towards her.
She eyes you. Roll persuasion check.
Oh boy! +10. I got a 19.
You see her hand come up, and then she will lean forward and take a bite. She leans back, and you see her face, like, her eyes widen in surprise, and she goes, "It's spicy!" And she'll start to cough.
What? He'll take a mouthful of it himself.
It's very spicy.
Ooh. Ooh. That does have a kick to it. Ooh. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, my makeup will run. Oh, fuck. Shit.
Machiavelli is kind of fanning herself, and you see that her face is flushed. And she looks, for the first time ever, completely undone. Like, not put together. Like, you are seeing her at her weakest moment. And she's, like, looking for a place to spit it out.
Oh god, and I will pull out just like a piece of, like a napkin, there's a million on the table here, just spit it into this.
She just covers her mouth and she swallows it, but her face is just running with tears. And this very, like, put together, woman just looks a mess in this moment. She does not look like the legends. She looks at you and she's like, you like this?
I thoroughly enjoy it. I wish I could take a picture of this moment. And I'm going to use the performance creation. I'm actually going to burn a spell slot for this, I think. Yeah, I've just burned a second level spell slot because I've already done this once. But I will, with my 100 gold limit, I will summon like the 5 copper glass of milk.
She takes it, reflexively runs her hand over it, and just starts drinking it. It is running down her face. It is like she is chugging this as if she is at a frat and this is a beer. Like, it is immediately gone. And you see that she's trying to put herself together. She looks strangely vulnerable right now as she looks at you and goes, really? This is... What are you looking for my weakness?
I wasn't actually thought that you would enjoy it. That was adorable. What was that?
It was what? She's like, she takes a handkerchief and is trying to clean up her face. She starts to giggle. It's just like, I can't believe this. If you tell anyone about this, they're not going to believe you.
It'll come to the grave with me, do not worry.
There's better, or I will put you in that grave.
Not if she puts you in your grave first.
How dare you use my weakness against me? After having just
Spicy
found
food?
it out.
Spicy food?
At least tease me first.
You're telling me that the Red Storm, the world-conquering leader of my guild, doesn't do spicy food?
I don't have to answer any of your questions. I think it was my turn.
That is right, it is your turn. Amazing.
She's still fanning herself, and occasionally you see her breathing out of her mouth like... As she wipes her face and says, why are you so obsessed with tea?
With tea?
Yes, you're always making tea for people.
And he'll take a big swig of his glass. It's one of those things I could always control through my life. While I couldn't say where I was going, what I was doing, or when I was doing it, I could dictate my tea. I could dictate what kind of tea and what time, yada yada. And then eventually, it was one of the few ways in which I could express affection towards my mother and still not get into trouble. And it kind of stuck. It kind of became a form of expressing affection. I struggle with words sometimes. I struggle expressing things.
And yet you became a bard.
Right, but there's a difference between telling someone else's story and trying to tell your own.
I didn't expect you to be so wise.
Look, the heroes in the other stories never seem to give up, but, there's been a few moments here and there. Tea's just my relaxation. It's my calming, it's my affection, it's a way for me to say things without having to vocalize them.
Do other teas mean different things?
Generally.
Well, I have more questions, but I suppose it's your turn. Only fair.
It is my turn. And he kind of ponders. What's your favorite color?
That's actually kind of difficult for me to say. I can't actually see them.
You can't see colors?
No, not anymore. And it's been so long, I suppose I've forgotten.
Not anymore? What do you mean? How did you lose the ability to see color?
I think that's another question, don't you?
It would be, yes, technically.
There are things that bargain for other things. And your ability to see color and beauty in the world can be a hot commodity to those who wish to deal.
I see. Well, I'm sorry, that must be tough.
I haven't really missed it, I suppose, until this moment. When your life is about fighting, you don't really need to see what color blood is. You just know it's blood.
True, but how do you wake up in the morning and look out the window and not see the sunrise? How do you not know what your beloved person's eye color is, you know?
There are other ways to appreciate this world. It doesn't have to be color. And, well, I suppose I didn't really appreciate those things before I didn't have them, so... You see that she looks a little sad.
Percy's gonna reach out and just take her hand, like, gently. Less so romantic, more so just comforting.
She actually jumps when you touch her, but she doesn't move her hand. You don't have to comfort me. I'm not some weak thing that's going to be lost to nostalgia. And, you know, everyone's got bad memories. Well, this is supposed to be a date, right? We should keep things light.
It's okay. I'll be here for you. It's all right. Comfort is not weakness. Relying on the people around you is not weakness. And you can't be Machiavellia all the time.
But sometimes I have to be.
Well, right now, you don't.
I know everyone sees me as quite stern, but... if any of you were in danger, I would not hesitate to rush to your aid. I hope you all don't think that I send you off willy-nilly without any regards for your lives.
Well, Blue refers to you as Auntie. I think you're probably okay.
No, he does. I can't get him to stop.
He's not ever going to stop. That's just how you are now. You are anti-Machiavellia.
I started to avoid him. I have gotten very good at sneaking through the halls and avoiding his notice.
Well, do you don't enjoy being called anti-Machiavellia?
I don't enjoy that at all, but he looks at me with those sorrowful eyes, and they're just so full of genuine care and emotion, and I can't deal with it.
Look, I had to meet his mother and hear about her escapades with the satyrs.
Her escapade satyrs? I had no idea he came from such wild stock.
Look, his mother fucks, I'm telling you, Jesus Christ.
You see her hand come up and cover her mouth. Oh my goodness, we can't be doing this. We shouldn't be talking about the other guild members. But fuck,
no, probably not.
I beat his mother.
Anyway, cutting that short. Immediately. I believe I probably have time for one more question.
Sure.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I suppose you're not terrible company.
That doesn't sound like the full truth.
Isn't it just?
It's truth or drink.
She takes a long drink.
That's answer enough for me.
Well, shall we move on to the next place?
A romantic pierside walk, perchance?
Would you like to lead the way?
Oh, if I must.
Oh no, if you don't want to, I insist.
Absolutely, onwards. In those boots? 100%, whatever you want.
As soon as you get out of the restaurant, she's gonna try and princess carry you.
I will 100% allow it.
I suppose
throw my arms around her neck.
Time. And she'll carry you along the dock.
I'll throw my arms around her neck and give Princess carried the whole way happily.
And she easily does. You can tell that Machiavellia has a lot of raw strength to her. And you are just so easy. A feather in her arms.
Now, this is going to sound strange, but could I lick a shot off of your abs at some point?
Look us down at you. Oh, quite the romantic, aren't you?
Like, I'll be fully out of character all night.
I'll tell you what. If you can pass training, I'll allow it.
Oh, goodness gracious. You've doomed me.
That's what we call motivating.
Well, I suppose I'll have to pass training now.
Of all the people that I thought that you would have interest in, I was at the bottom of the list.
Look, attraction goes where it pleases.
Doesn't it just? And she sets you down. You guys are on the sand at this point. You can see the harbor of Lux with all the ships coming in and out. Each of them has different mage lights, which are glittering on the water. The stars have come out at this point, and you guys have a quiet moment.
Look, I may have been banished from the city, but for as long as I'll live, it'll always be the most beautiful place on the planet to me. And I'm glad I could share this moment with you.
He gazes out at the harbor for a few more moments, and she just turns to you, and she says, "Thank you. Truly, without pompous and circumstance, all joking aside, I actually appreciate this. I don't get moments like these often, and I think you reminded me that it's okay to stop and have a bit of fun. So, thank you for sharing this favorite place of yours with me. I appreciate it."
Of course. Although, if you want to see real fun, I'm going to cast Skywrite.
How much
I still have that spell.
are we going to have to run after this, Percy?
Well, a bit. It's gonna say in the sky, Percy and Macadamia say. It's just the massive drawing of a middle finger pointed at the city.
Macadamia just looks at you so disappointed.
He grins.
We still had a few hours in this city.
We still do. They don't know where we are. Plus,
would you be looking for us now?
Oh, we'll add a little spice.
I still had some diplomatic ties to this. You've dragged me into this. My good name.
Look. Isn't it so much more fun when you're on the run?
I mean, I've been on the run my entire life. Why stop here, I suppose? But you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna start your training now. And she drops you and pushes you to run.
Oh, okay. Right. All right. Okay.
Back in the military, we call this fucking around and finding out. Now run, pretty boy.
Pretty boy. Okay, I'm running. He'll start to run.
She keeps up with you easily. As you guys enter back in the city, was there anything else that you wanted to do?
Not that I can think of on the top of my head. There was one more thing, but I've completely forgotten what it was. No, it's gone. Crap.
Well, we can continue the game that you like to play, or we can return home if you're finished.
I'm up for a few more questions. And of course, and he'll open his little coat up. I stole the booze, so
that's okay. I know. And she'll pick you up again and find a very quiet. It's a bit away from the normal buildings of the city, kind of sheltered alcove, still on the beach. But it looks, for all intents and purposes, defensible, and you wouldn't be very easily noticed there.
Funnily enough, I recognize this spot. I used to hide here on occasion.
Lots of people use this for a variety of reasons, but I don't think
Macadamia. It's the first date. Where have you taken me?
I make no excuses here. I know this is very much a tryst area, but that was not my intention.
Are you going to ravish me?
In your dreams.
Well, yes, but here too.
Well, I suppose it depends on the type of questions you ask me, doesn't it?
Oh, goodness gracious, that's a lot of pressure. All right. What is your fondest childhood memory?
Well, if I'm to be honest, I actually thought my abilities were really cool. Do you know?
That's fair.
Do you know what they are?
No, not at all.
Do you have a blade on you?
Yes, actually. He's gonna reach out and pull the dagger out of his boot.
She takes it and she kind of gives it a flourishing spin in her hands, and you see her cut her hand, and she hands it back to you.
Are you alright?
Of course, look. And as she holds out her hand, you see that her blood actually comes out and forms into birds, and she seems to be controlling it.
That is interesting.
Didn't you ever wonder why they call me the Red Storm?
Honestly, I don't think you want me to answer that question.
What did you think it meant?
I thought that maybe you just had a really bad battle during a period at some point.
Gross! And she like gives you a push.
Look, you're the one controlling the blood, not me. I don't know what to tell you.
I would think that the legends would lend some sort of elegance to my image.
You'd think, but you were single-handedly made the term parting the Red Sea a thing, I think.
I don't even know how to dignify that with a response.
Well, it's your turn for the question anyway.
As you're looking, she turns the blood into almost a blade. And she says, "This often makes many of my unwinnable battles quite winnable. Although, for my people, it is a curse to be born with this power. A bad omen."
Your people?
Yes. She does not elaborate further.
Right. Who would your people be?
Is that truly the question you want me to answer? I'll answer one question of yours. Any question. And is that
Any question?
Yes, any question. Is that the question you want to ask? I've had a good time. I'm in a good mood.
So many come to mind. Well, I suppose there's only really one question on my mind.
All right.
Can I kiss you?
No.
Ah.
But I want to kiss you. And
Oh!
She'll take your chin in her hand and she'll pull you to her. And she.
We did it! We did it!
Percy
We
won
did
the
it!
campaign.
Percy won. GG. Percy's retiring. Percy's a male wife now.
You completely retire your character.
Yeah, retired male wife. He wears an apron and bakes goods now.
As she pulls away, she doesn't release your chin. She has you in her grip.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks you, "Is it everything that you wanted?"
For now? Yeah.
For now.
Look, your past is interesting, and I'm curious. But it's you in the present who I'm interested in.
Well, I wonder if you'll stay interested knowing my story, but this is quite an interesting turn of events. A new journey, as it were.
A whole new adventure.
Well, now that we've asked all the questions, become extremely wanted in the city, shall we end it? Was there anything else you wanted to do?
We probably should head back soon. As much as I would love to stay here all night. Unfortunately, we are probably being hunted quite thoroughly, and eventually they will come to think and check my, they will come to think of my old hauntings and check them.
Yes, but not yet. I've heard 3 people pass by here, and they still haven't checked.
Right. Well, they'll eventually start checking, so we should probably head back soon, yes?
Sure. She holds out her hand to you.
I'll take it.
She leads you away. You guys return to about the place where you portaled in, taking a few detours here and there. Let's see. Gun roll stealth.
Interesting. Okay. That's a dirty 20, boss.
She rolled a natural 20.
Oh my god, we're so sneaky.
So you two, lithe as cats, weave your way through the city. And you actually see Machiavellia spot a guard. She looks mischievous as she signals you to be quiet. She sneaks right behind one, steals their sword off of their body, and brings it back to you. And offers it to you almost like a proud cat with a mouse.
I'll happily take the sword.
She gives you a wink, and eventually you guys make it back to the place where you portaled in. Darcy is waiting. She looks extremely put out.
Hi, Darcy.
Did he do anything untoward towards you? And she's only addressing Machiavellia. Machiavellia just says, "It's fine, Darcy. You know I would have gutted him."
Percy's wearing a shit-eating ear-to-ear grin.
I don't like his smug face. What did you do?
No, I was so right to her. It's what she did to me. You should be worried about.
You can see Darcy's eyes narrow. I don't trust you. I don't like you. And I will for sure murder you eventually.
I wish you all the best. Like, frankly, I'm on the clouds right now. Nothing you could say could ever bring me down.
You see her look extremely upset, and she opens the portal and gestures for Machiavellia to go in. But as you pass, she like grabs your arm, gestures towards your eyes and back at you. "I'm watching you."
That's funny, because you're deliberately not watching me. Which one is it?
Just looks mad. Shut up, Percy. And she'll push you in the portal. As you get in, you see Kyla run up to Darcy and start talking extremely fast. Darcy reaches to Machiavellia, and Machiavellia goes from looking pleased to extremely frightened. You see Darcy open a portal, and beyond it are people fighting. You recognize Arzel, you recognize Coil, you recognize Kavar fighting Emavirs. As Machiavellia goes through, Darcy follows her, and you see the portal start to condense, almost as if something is trying to shut it. And just as you see Darcy's blindfold come down, a hooded figure stabs her through the chest, and the portal closes, and that is the last thing that you see.
Oh, fuck.
And that's the end of your one-shot. Did you enjoy it?
What the fuck?
I
What the fuck is
recommend that you watch the Christmas one-shot that recently happened.
Okay. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
you definitely should.
Darcy fucking died?
You don't know. You don't know. You just have Kyla a mess. She is bawling her eyes out and scratching at the wall where the portal normally is.
Okay. Fuck.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
This has been Tales of the Iron Ballista. A big thanks to my cast who make these episodes possible. If you'd like to catch us live on Twitch, please join the Discord for the schedules. They vary from week to week because the players are scattered across the globe. Link is in the description. Please follow me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/theamazingdina to get live alerts. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel to keep up to date with the posted episodes. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye!